Since its formation in 1978, the Nigerian Labour Congress has stood as the voice of Nigerian workers, defending their rights against policies deemed unfair or exploitative. As the federal government has finally implemented the new tax reforms since January 1, 2026, the NLC warns history may repeat itself.
When government acts with impunity, what do you think? These are the results. See, the problem we have in Nigeria, what is said is promises. When promises are not kept, it becomes a problem. You see, an unfaithful spouse, whether man or woman, creates a problem in the home. So when negotiations happen and agreements are reached, one of the basic expectations would be that those agreements are faithfully implemented. When those agreements are not faithfully implemented, it leads to problems. The same way, when there is unfaithfulness in a marriage, it will lead to crisis. Is what is happening.
What is paramount and what is important and what Nigerians are calling for is transparency in this policy. If you have enacted law, if you are giving out law, we shouldn't be hearing all manners of rumors about discrepancies in whatever was passed as a law and what was released to the general public. So until it is made available by the National Assembly, the CTC, which they said they are going to issue, once it is made available, we can make an informed opinion about this tax regime.
The union insists that taxation must be fair, inclusive, and rooted in social justice, ensuring that the wealthy pay their share while low-income earners are protected. From past battles for fair wages to today's call for tax justice, the NLC remains resolute in defending workers' dignity, rights, and economic well-being.
If they are saying they are going to deduct their money, upfront from their accounts by the banks, now the question will be: have they seen those provisions? Have they studied the provision? Have they found any of those provisions in the new law? Do they even have copies of this new law at all? So, in the absence of that, I think every panicking, every fidgeting and what have you, they are just being anchored on speculation. So they shouldn't be speculative. Let them be patient until the law is gazetted, and if it has been gazetted, let them go and get a copy of the new law, study it, and seek advice from from professionals. From there, they can take it up.
The challenge in Nigeria is the challenge of government breaking agreements, government's refusal to implement agreements. All of us remember the 2009 agreement government signed with us. Up to today, it has not been implemented. It has been implemented, and that is in the universities. That's true. The same thing, agreements reached, sat down, willingly signed between the unions and the government. Government, at the end of the day, refused to implement. We don't have bombs. We don't have grenades. We don't have guns. What we have are our collective voice. What we have is the power of persuasion. What we have is our advocacy and our lobbying. It's our collective will, our collective power is what we have. And so when we sit down with you and we reach agreement with you and refuse to implement, what do you expect us to do? If after repeated warnings you refuse, what do you expect us to do? That is why unions would restart the strike.
The NLC says it remains committed to defending workers' wages, pensions, and dignity, urging citizens to join in confronting corruption, exploitation, and poor governance.
Mr. Joe Ajero and the Nigerian Labour Congress should not ask for. No, that's not what I'm saying. Within the rights of the law. I know sometime in June, July 2024, when the minimum wage, set in, the act setting it up talked about 3 years period. We are not yet in the 3 years period. But Mr. Joe Ajero has positively said, look, we want to start to engage on time. One, inflation is high. Absolutely, no doubt about that. Food inflation is coming down, but not at the level that we expect. Urban inflation is still way out of the roof. Transportation, despite the fact that the Dangote factor that has gradually reduced fuel and competition is coming in and they are fighting competition. The transporters are still not doing what they need to be done. Yeah, of course, naturally. I am in absolute agreement that let's start early, let's engage strategically, let's begin to ask those who are yet to do what is needful, why they have not done what is needful, and then begin to appeal that we may not be able to, even though the act says 3 years, we'll not be able to. Let's start now. Let's start the to and fro.
For decades, organized labor in Nigeria has shaped policy and fought inequality a legacy the NLC continues into 2026. Sydney Okafor for Anchor News.